We're ready to go. Thank you very much for joining DevExperts for our DX Charts webinar today. My name is Ben Clark. I'm VP of Business Development, and my colleague Andrei Shevlenov is Product Manager or Head of DX Charts Unit. Today, I'll focus on the main features of DX Charts, which we believe are the key features retail traders want and are therefore willing to pay for. So let me go straight into the chart types. So I'm going to go through sort of approximately 10 different features, and I'm going to start with the chart types. So here we can see the chart, and at the top we have our main kind of taskbar. Here, if I click on this icon, we can see 11 chart types that are available at the moment. We have ones that are from the simple of the histogram to the scatter to line to the more advanced candlestick. We've got a bunch of candlestick based chart types. So we've got hollow, we've got just standard candle, we've got Hekinashi, and one of our new ones, which is equivolume. So the equivolume is basically, it incorporates volume into the width of the candles instead of showing weeks. So I can show you that very quickly. So it looks slightly different. Let's move back to the Hekinashi. One of the things about the charts as well, we are able to customize the aggregations within the charts. I guess DevExperts is also known as chart intervals or chart time frames. Basically, the control that you can use to set a different representation for a single candle on your chart type. So you can change the time frame of each candle. So for instance, at the moment, we have 5 minutes as the time interval, and we can click the drop down quite simply and change that to back to 1 hour if we want to. It takes a little time sometimes, but it depends on kind of the feed that you have. One of the key things about this as well is that the user has the ability to change the aggregations that they have available. So you can delete if you want to, simply by clicking on the X, or you can create custom ones. See, it's prompting us to put 7 minutes in there. So let's pop that in, click enter, and then that creates the 7-minute aggregation. Really simple to do. As you can see as well, we don't have just simply time-based aggregations. We also have 2 new aggregations that were recently added. So we have tick charts. So you can see that there's some that have been added, custom ones there. Instead of showing time-based candles, we can show tick-based. Or alternatively, we also have range, which is another type of chart that's recently been added, which shows specific movement of the price. So they're all exactly the same. It just shows a specific range of price change within the range. We also have data presets within this charting library. So the amount of data that is feasible on the chart. So at the moment, we're looking at, if I click back, we're looking at Apple 1 hour. So each candle represents the price movement for a specific hour. I can easily switch from the current view, which is a couple of weeks here, down at the bottom left, we have the data presets which we can change. So for instance, we've got 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, a year, everything that's available from your data vendor can be switched to. So current view, we can change to 1 month. So let's click that. And basically what that's done is it means we're now viewing months in terms of history length. And we can see that the aggregation default has changed to 30 minutes. So the best part of this is you're able to offer the end user the ability to create custom data time frame presets. So in regards to that, if they want to create custom ones, sorry, click the wrong button, we press the add button, and we could, for instance, create, say, 1 hour and 180 days. So we have created another tab down here, and we can quickly show that straight away. We can also have the ability to delete quite simply. If we want to delete that, we've deleted that straight away. It's really simple to do. We also have something that's very handy for your analysis. It's basically to view the economic events for a specific ticker. So we're seeing the Apple chart at the moment with an aggregation of 1 hour. If we change the aggregation to 1 day, hopefully we should be able to see a little bit more information. So down here, 1 day, there we go. What I'm now going to do is enable the events. The reason I've changed those settings there is so we can hopefully see a few more events that are on the chart. So, events on the chart. We can now see we support 4 different event types. So we've got dividends, splits and consolidation, earnings and estimations, and conference calls. These are simply just a few of the kind of events that we wanted to show within the our, sorry, sometimes it needs to reset itself. It's always great on a, there we go, on a demo. So I'm just going to do this so we can get some events showing on the chart. Usually there would be a lot more. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. But you're not limited to these events that are available. It is possible you can end up having more different events. We're just showing specific ones as these for this demo purpose, but you could show news, you could show tweets, anything else that's provided by your data provider. But what you'd end up doing, usually there'd be a lot more along the bottom. However, if you hover over the item at the bottom, it will show you the information. So here we go. We've got dividends. There would sometimes be a lot more. If we ended up looking, if your data provider gave items in the future, or events in the future rather, then you'd be able to see those as well. But we can reset all of those and go back to our month, hour. Instrument comparison. So for instance, at the moment we just see Apple, but if we wanted to, we may want to be able to compare some instruments and their performance. So we can add another instrument quite simply by going up to our main toolbar and searching. So for instance, if I want to add Google, I simply type that in and then it populates with some options that we have. So I'm going to go for Google plus A. There we go. And as you can see, we have a second stock added as a line on the chart. Here we go. We can see that. Main part is the price scale is now switched. So we can see that it's become a percentage and it's gone into percentage mode as the values associated with each of those different stocks may be really different. So that's why it goes into a percentage. We can see that Apple is outperforming Google in percentage terms. You can disable the percentage mode by changing the default at the bottom right here. So we could go into logarithmic. So basically we can now see the actual pricing on the it looks a little simpler as to what's going on. We can also change the price settings as well. So if we go up to the top toolbar again, onto the settings, we can go to scales. We can, in actual fact, change the settings and scales that this is in. So we can see that it's already auto scale price on the axis, fit studies. We can also fit positions. We can invert the scale if we want to. We can lock the scale as well. So if we zoom in and out, it doesn't change. We can move the scale to the left if we want to. And we can also change the labels. So we can go into labels and lines. So we can manage them here. If you want to add bid and ask, we can, the symbol, change that to a line or label and line. You can do that with indicators. You can add description. Sometimes that's a little simpler to be able to see if you've got several different charts there. You can see the actual name of the stock. It's simple to do. And so that's the price scale settings. Within, I'm just going to delete Google just so we get back to just one stock. So if we have within the charting, we have 42 drawings. So these are very important for the technical analysis. So as of now, there are 42, there may be more in the future, but to access the drawings, you simply go up to the top left and click the double arrow. Very simple to do. You can scroll through them and see all the different ones that are here. If you're used to working with specific drawings, you can add them to your favorites. So for instance, I could go through and check off specific ones that I want to be using. Very easy to do. If I just click as many as I like, maybe the ones that I'm going to use for the purpose of the demo. If we do that, we can then see that they should end up at the top. So here we go. We've now got all of the ones that I checked off right at the top. Really simple, makes it easier because there are a lot, as you can see, going through with that amount of drawings available. You can hide that toolbar as well. However, for the purpose of the demo, let's keep it open. If we go to the bottom left of this, we can enable drawing mode. As you can see, once it goes yellow, that means we have basically activated that. If we go up, we could say use the rectangle, so I can show you how it works. So straight away you've got the floating point. You click, drag and click, and then you've created that rectangle. You can do that again straight away after that. Really simple to do. If I want to change any of the settings on this specific one, I can do that from the floating panel. It's easy to do. But any of the items that you want to change that are not in the floating panel, we've got another settings button here. So I can click on that and go further into depth of those kind of settings that I want to change. If we go to the bottom left, we can quite easily, with the touch of a button, hide all of the drawings that we've created. So, and we can bring them back straight away as well. I can delete those by one button. However, Control Z, I can undo it if I've done that in error. As you can see, we've got those simple kind of rectangle drawings, but we've also got kind of the more extensive or advanced rather drawings as well. So let's see and bring one. So we've got Fibonacci. So if we go into Fibonacci time extension, or if we go into regression trend, let's do one of those. You can click and click again, and then we have added that. Very simple. We can then go on to add another one, maybe a bit more advanced. So we can click. Just very simple to do. Again, if you want to go into the settings of these, you can change all of those settings that are available, different colors, different close that. And then again, we can delete all of those drawings quite simply. If I want to maybe use something a little different, like a call out, we could click, add that, and then if we want to add a label, we can quite simply. I can easily, as I said, delete all of those drawings as well. Very simple. One of the last ones I want to show you on this is magnet mode. It makes it a lot easier. So magnet mode plus path makes it super smooth. So it just quickly attaches itself to the extremity of the candle, makes it very simple for you to do and to move around. You can delete that straight away again. Next, there are some additional tools which could be handy when you're working with drawings in DX charts as well. So we've got something called our drawing group. So I've shown you the drawings. I can now show you how you can group all of those drawings if you want. At the bottom right here, we have got something called our main group or default group. And if you click, you can see how at the moment we've only got one, but we can add another one. What I'll do is I'm going to add a add a trend line. So if we add a trend line there, we can see that in this main group we have got just simply a trend line as well at the moment. If I want to add a new set, I click on there and I'm going to add a Fibonacci of some sort. So press enter, and we can see that that trend line has disappeared. I'm then going to add a Fibonacci time zone. So we have now created a Fibonacci time zone. If I click on this, I can see that this is the group that I'm in. If I go back to the main group, I can then see that that is available. So you can switch between these different groups. It's very simple to do. You can have multiple drawings attached to different ones, and it's easy to switch between the two. But if I want to go deeper into kind of those settings or the object navigation, I can go into the object tree window, which again, another one of these buttons at the top. We can see it, that it shows specific groups and elements of the group. So as we can see, we had the main group. It would show all the different drawings that were in there. You can then show and hide, and in the next group we can then show and hide as well. The object tree in future would hold all the information on charts, including all data series, all the studies you're about to add, and you can manage them from here. And as I showed you, you can create new groups here as well. What I'm going to quickly do is show you how easy it is to delete. So I can delete that. So we no longer have the other, oh, sorry, delete all drawings. There we go. So we have now deleted all of those. I can turn that off quite simply. We have studies or indicators or strategies, whatever you may call it. We've got those all incorporated in DXchart. The DXChart library by DevExperts has around about 112 studies by default. So if we click on this italic F emblem at the top, we can see that it creates this panel which shows all the studies. We can scroll through them, or we can filter, whichever we prefer to do. So for instance, if I want to search for one, so for MACD, if I end up typing that, I can see that 2 come up for the moving average, convergence, divergence. And if I want to add one of these, so I'm going to add this one for initially. So if I drag and drop, we can see that it has then been added at the bottom of the main chart. So we can see within this different parameters. So we can manage the type of average that it is, for instance. We can manage inputs, we can change the color. It's really simple to do, dependent on what kind of parameters would in what you want to change. Best part is that you're not limited to the amount of default studies available in the charting library, because you can add and create your own studies as well. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to again add the moving average, so I can show you a little more functionality, which I could spell. That would help. So here we go. So as you can see, there are different kind of icons next to each one. I'm going to delete this one, and then I am going to add this one. And the reason behind that is this one is written in DXScript, our proprietary language for calculation. And we can basically see the source code of this one. So if I click on this icon, it pops up. So we've got a built-in editor for this charting application, and we can change some of the information in here, so some of the source code. So if I want to change something in here, what I need to do is duplicate it, I'll scroll across, and if we want to change, I think probably the best thing to change here, and it's highlighted as well, is we can change not be calculated on the close, but on the open. So I can change that here, very simple to do. So if I then start to type open, it will give me some options. So I've got open there. I can click on the open. Really simple to do. If I want to see the documentation of this and learn about DXScript, it's all publicly available as well. So you've got a button here called documentation. So I'll click on there. And by following this link, we can see all of the different information. We can learn more as well. This basically is able for public, so it opens the ability for third parties to create studies and distribute within the application. So we're adding new roles and permissions for this functionality as well. So study developers will be able to hide their code and source code, be able to add users and access for them to certain studies, and how we see it will work in the future, being able to add those new kind of studies. I'm just going to close all of this now so I can then move on to probably the final item that I'm going to show you guys. So let's close that. I'm just going to delete this. So there we go. Basically, if we look at the top, one of the final ones I want to show you today is multiple chart modes. So if we click on this window, we can see that the drop down shows us many kind of different kind of layout options. So we've got anything from 1 to 4 at the moment. We have tested up to 12. but it depends on server capabilities as well. So you could have different incrementations, etc. So from 3 to 7 to 10 to 5, whichever you prefer. So what I'm going to do for the purpose of this demo is click on the 4. So as we can see, 4 different panels have been created, and we can see they're all identical. What I am going to do on this one is show you how you can change different panels. So as I click between each one, you can see that the perimeter of the active one is highlighted. So for instance, on the second chart, I think I'm going to change the different type of chart that it is. So let's go for area. Then maybe on this one, I'll change it to scatter graph and change the time frame. It may take sometimes, for some reason, on my demo, it has taken a little longer in order to change time frames. So sometimes by just doing that, it does pop back into action. And then on the last one, I'm going to add some studies. So it just shows that you can add different items to different, sorry about this. We'll go back to that and maybe we'll change it into something else. I know what we could do. We could in actual fact change the type of, we could change this into, say, Microsoft instead of it being Apple. Let's change it to Microsoft. So at the top left, that is where you would change the different type of my spelling. There we go. So Microsoft. So we can click on that. There we go. So you can now see there's 4 different types of charts available here. And one of the last kind of functionalities I want to show you is the ability to, it's the ability to synchronize. So for instance, at the moment we are in the Microsoft one, but if I click into the top right, the Apple, we can click and we can synchronize. As you can see, there's different kind of items that you can synchronize by: studies, appearance, time frame, chart type, and instrument. At the moment, I'm not going to change it into Microsoft. That would change everything into Microsoft. I'm going to go by chart type. So what has happened here is we've been able to synchronize them into chart type, but you could do it with all the other different kind of available options there as well. Moving on from that, we have got I was wrong, we've got one more bit. So following on from that, which follows nicely into the ability to have the social sharing capabilities. So say if we have created this 4-chart study and we want to be able to share that, we've got the icon up here which gives you the ability to share. So for instance, we could download the chart item and save it, image and save it. We could copy the chart image. We could create a link. So I have created a link. I can then copy and paste, which then gives us a copy of that. So it's a static image at the moment, but in the future there will be the ability to share dynamic copies without sensitive data in there as well. You can alternatively tweet. You could also share it via Telegram, and we do have future ones that are coming soon as well, which are maybe through Discord or other venues as well. But that really kind of draws to a close kind of the key functionality that I wanted to show you. So thank you very much for your time. What I'm going to do now is pass you over to my colleague, Andre, who will be able to answer any of the questions that may have arisen during the demonstration.
Thank you, Ben. Hi, everyone. So I've been answering questions while you've been doing the demo. So let me go through some of them. We've got around 10 questions. Let's just focus on some very interesting ones. So does the charting library comes with the market data out of the box? Yes, it does. So we have connected it to the market data provider, which is called DXScript. So you don't need to do any development to get market data into that. However, if you still want, if you have your own vendor and you want to use your data in this charting library, you can do that. It's data feed agnostic by default. So let me see. Yeah, customization. So can we change the UI to customize the charting? Yes, literally everything you've just seen can be customized. So the APIs from the React UI that you just saw allows you to customize fonts, all the colors, styles, even change icons, change their sizes, put your custom buttons whenever you want. However, there is one like extra option here. So we actually can offer you the source code of this solution at a different price tag, but you will not be limited in any customization. You can create features on your own. You can do whatever you want. That's the option on the table as well. Do you provide this charting label free? Yeah, it comes label free. So our goal is to give you the tool that will benefit your business. We don't want your customers. We want your business to be make some money, to grow, and we can actually even put your logos there. So like everyone who's working with your charts, with our charts in your application, and taking a snapshot to share on Reddit or in a Discord channel, they will be sharing it with your logo on it. Let me see. Yeah, so all the questions are answered in the Q&A. I'm just going through the ones that I believe are the most valuable to repeat. Yeah, I think this one is a good one. So, hi, do you perform work on requests? Do you do extra development requests? So yes, we don't just provide you with the charting library. We can either integrate it, so we can provide you the development team to integrate this charting library into your app, or we can we accept requests for features. So if you have something on your roadmap and you want us to deliver this as a part of this charting solution, that's totally doable. So that's like the matter of negotiation. We can make it to fit your timeline, and you'll get the feature you need. Yeah, last one I think that I would like to pay attention to. So can I integrate it on my website? That's the whole idea of all of this. This is perfect for any web application, any website, but we've got even something better for a website. We've got a sub product based on what you just saw. It's a little bit limited in terms of the functionality, but you can go to devexperts.com/widget, and you can see basically the same chart. You can configure it by putting checks in some boxes, and after that you'll get the embed code that you can copy paste to your website code, and that will work. The only question there will be to sign up with relevant data plan from the DXFeed. Okay, I think I will have one more question. In what way, if any, your charting is better than TradingView? That's a nice one. Thank you for this one. So the first thing is, I think we basically covered all of them, but let me sum up. So the main differences are we provide you label-free charting. That's the whole business model of our solution. We provide you with the DXScript so you can your end users can create custom studies, custom indicators, not just be limited by the amount of indicators within the solution out of the box, but they can create dozens, hundreds of indicators. And in the future, we will extend this functionality so they will be able to sell it actually within this charting application. The market data that is available out of the box with DXFeed from DXFeed. So as far as we can see, most, if not all other solutions, including TradingView on the market, they give you just the tool. You need to go find some data source, someone who will study how to integrate it, do the integration, test it, spend some money and effort on it. If you want, you can do that with our tool as well, but we can actually give you just the tool out of the box with the market data. Just sign up with the relevant plans with DXFeed, and here it is. And yeah, I think the last one is about the development. So basically, I don't think many other players out on the market will be eager to deliver anything on demand for you. I might be wrong, of course, but from what I know, they are providing you with a product as is, whether you like it or not. And that's it. You will need to use it the way it is. We can customize it. We can deliver whatever you want. These are the main, I would say. Again, that is answered live. Okay, I think this is it. So
thanks, Andre.
Thank you, Ben.
What I was going to say as well is if you guys have any more questions or want to get in contact and are interested in DX charts, then the email address is on the screen there. We'd be only too happy if you want to go into a more in-depth demonstration to organize that for you. But thank you very much for your time today. I hope that was helpful to show you kind of an introduction to DX charts.